offshore boats in the world have come to do battle in Atlantic City. The Trump's Castle Offshore Grand Prix. This is the 5th national race of the 1987 season. Over 65 boats will challenge the waters of the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Atlantic City.
Now you have Harris 777 race team in your picture. C777. It is a 29-foot well-crafted Scarab Panther with a deep V hull. This boat is powered by twin 370 horsepower Mercruiser inboards with Mercruiser drives. This boat is owned and driven by Mac R. Seelig of Pleasantville, New Jersey. Your navigator is Jeff Seelig from Pleasantville, and also from Pleasantville on throttles, Jason Seelig. The Seelig family making up Harris 777 race team. They're presently in 4th place, running behind the Heat Is On, who is your 3rd place boat who you just saw. So the Seeligs are definitely trying to make a move right now on the Heat Is On race team.
South Jersey Sportsmaker time. This week's recipient, Mac Seelig, Driver of the Year in the Sportsman C-Class Racing League. Mac is the leader of the Harris Zubas 777 offshore racing team, and we caught up with him out on the waves.
Everything else goes away. You're only focused on the boat and the water. One mistake in your history. So there's two things that happen. Is euphoria from the speed. There's adrenaline pump from being near the edge with the speed.
Let's go for a ride, shall we?
Absecons Max Seelig, Sportsmaker of the Week, and of course will receive that certificate for his goodwill and stature in South Jersey.
Well, I guess you can say the family that races together has fun together. They are the Seeligs of Absecon. Mac and his 3 sons, 2 of them identical twins, and they are teammates on the Harris 777. It's an offshore racing machine. The 777 will compete this month up in Point Pleasant, and look for this racing family come October in the World Championships off of the Atlantic City beach. This family makes a great team.
I've got one son who's a navigator, the other who's a throttle man, the other who runs crew. So the 3 boys and myself have a lot of fun together with the boating.
Part of being a family is being together, and the more time we can spend together, the better, because the more time we spend together, we can read each other out in the water and know exactly what we want to do.
Crucial to the success of the Harris 777 are the team mechanics, and while they are not blood family, they sure are family in the team sense.
Everybody has to work in sync. The throttle man, navigator, the driver, and Bob and I as mechanics.
Just finishing the race is a big accomplishment, for the whole team.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to do it with the family. We travel with speeds between 70 and 90 miles an hour in 3 to 4 foot seas. You have sensation of forward motion, catching air, wind, floating, acceleration on a constant basis. So it's once you learn how to drive the boat properly, it's a lot of fun.
Mac, if there is one word that aptly describes this sport, what is it?
Big bunch of adrenaline.
Adrenaline, a perfect word, and thanks to Mac, I've certainly had lots of adrenaline today. For Sports Center 40, I'm Joe Basikia with Sports Spotlight.
Petrie. He's the president and CEO of Harris. Harris is here in full swing with a brand new boat. And what brings Harris to offshore racing, Phil?
Well, we've got a kind of a partnership going with Max Selig from AC Coin and Slot in Atlantic City, and we have Harrah's Marina Hotel Casino there with our own marina, the first one really built with a hotel casino in the world, so we thought it was a natural.
It's a big, high-profile sport, isn't it?
Well, it's exciting, yeah. We've enjoyed being a part of it now for 3 years, and today's my maiden ride on the boat, so I'll find out what it's all about. I've had a nice taste of it so far.
You're involved with gambling. How nervous are you?
Well, this is the biggest gamble I've probably taken in the last 3 years.
Are you looking forward to it?
I am. I'm really excited about it.
Well, have you practiced?
I practiced yesterday and got a good feel for it. I've got a great throttle man and a great driver, and Mac and Jason Selig, and so I'm looking forward to it.
Did the thing feel very fast to you?
It felt very fast. 80 miles per hour felt real fast.
What are the odds on you guys today?
I think we've got a real good shot at it. The higher the waves, my throttle man tells me, the better we'll do.
Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you very much. Enjoyed talking to you.
Harris 777 race team. And as you can see just before, as Harris passed Phantom Race Team, it's become quite obvious that the Deep V hull is certainly going to be the predominant hull of choice here today in these rough water conditions, as they were able to overtake the catamaran hull of Phantom just before. So with this in mind, the boats with the Deep V hull are going to go all out and really trying to make a good impression today to have some good finishes as they go into Saturday's final run. From Key West, Florida, it's Harris 777. The Bradley's moving right along in Wildcat. Oh my! They stuffed that boat. They seem okay though from here. No one seems to have stopped, but they do seem okay. That boat was definitely submerged. It was a submarine for a moment, but they are okay. I see Robert Bradley moving around. Dennis Bradley still in his seat, but they do seem okay. They're talking to one another, getting the helmets off, and that is good to see. Let's look at it in slow motion. Stop action, there it is, fully submerged. That certainly does do something to your nervous system. But fortunately, the boat came up, and they are okay. This certainly looks like a problem out here. B40. It's the Headhunter race team, and we've got a fire raging on that boat, and the fuel has spilled into the water, as you see, and even that is on fire. It's a 26-foot Corsa, and it is in trouble right now. From what we see or what we hear, both driver and throttle man have jumped to safety. Everyone is okay. The crew of Peter J. Lloyd, Charlie Hames, and Mike Radler, which makes up the crew of Headhunter, is in safe conditions. They've jumped to safety, and this is definitely an unfortunate sight to see on a race course. But we do hear that everyone is okay, so that is certainly a relief. Tough break for the Headhunter race team here in Key West, Florida. Certainly a very nasty sight to see this boat fully engulfed in those flames. And there you see the trail of smoke. Once again, we found it to be a very good day of offshore powerboat racing put on by the APBA. Although we had a few mishaps, we had some boats burning, one boat being stuffed. No one was hurt, and that's always very fortunate, and there was some very good sportsmanship demonstrated here today. And of course, the competition was so evenly matched, and we had some great racing, and as I said before, it was a safe day of racing. So with the sun setting in beautiful Key West, Florida,
Welcome you to the 1991 Chesapeake Challenge. And we're at beautiful Annapolis, Maryland, located on the western shore of the upper Chesapeake Bay. Traditionally known as the sailing capital of the U.S., Annapolis now has another claim to fame, as it's the site of American Powerboat Association.
As we look down at more racing from Thursday, we see C777 Harrah's Zubaz. What a paint job, Steve.
A beautiful boat, and also they have a celebrity navigator today, Joe Theismann, the ex-quarterback from the NFL, alongside today. He has joined this crew.
And here we see coming back after their second place finish today in the race, Max Selig in the C777 entry. We had a chance to talk to him earlier about his boat.
We have a brand new Sutphen boat made in Cape Coral, Florida. The boat's brand new to us. We've got a lot of little minor glitches. Most of them have been ironed out at this point, and we expect to do very well here today.
Max, I got to tell you something. A lot of guys would be envious of other teams of the great sponsorship you guys have been able to put together. Tell us about the secrets of being able to put together a Harrah's and Zubaz package that is just tremendous this year.
We, over the years, have tried to run a very professional team. We've been very successful in running the team that way. It's a business. With Harrah's, who's been with us 5 years, we were able to get Zubaz, who now is our new sponsor. You know who they are. They make this crazy zebra stripe clothes we're all wearing. International Game Technology, Reno, Nevada is also one of our sponsors, along with Mobil Oil, who's been a tremendous help to this team. So it's really a team effort.
Harrah's 777, Lightning, Network Express, Shockwave, Jaws, Deuces Are Wild, Empty Pockets, Gone Bananas, Kamikaze, MRD, Spoiled Banana, Pipeline, Airborne, Bad Move, Predator, the American Express, Insanity, Medicine Man, just to name a few, are some of the many boats who have come out here today. This should be a great race. Montauk, what an excellent scene for a race. It's a beautiful area here, and the Montauk Yacht Club is a splendid place to be hosting this race, and Perry Ellis has really come in and lent a hand in getting this race to the position where it is today. Outside that C777, Harrah's Zubaz 777. This is a very good-looking boat with quite a crew in there. This is a 34-foot Sutphen powered by two 650-horsepower Innovation inboard motors with Merc-Cruiser outdrives. This boat is owned by Mac R. Seelig of Abascon, New Jersey. Driving today is Mac R. Seelig. Throttling is Rick Lamore Jr. from Sarasota, Florida. And your navigator is Joe Theismann, your former quarterback of the Washington Redskins and Super Bowl champion. And Joe Theismann's come out here with his competitive spirit. There you see him doing some navigation and helping out Max Seelig as he drives around this race course. And they've got a great team. And what a list of sponsors they have. They would like to extend a special thanks to their 5-year association with Harrah's, as well as their new sponsor, Zubaz, who is a manufacturer of sportswear for the NFL.
Well over 80 boats have come here to Sarasota, Florida for the 1992 Suncoast Offshore APBA Challenge. Today's show is brought to you by Fountain Power Boats and by Ohio Steel.
Running in the lead pack of boats in offshore sea is C777, Harrah's Zubaz 777. This 30-foot Sutphen is powered by two 650-horsepower Innovation inboard motors with Merc-Cruiser outdrives. This boat is owned and driven by Mac R. Seelig of Atlantic City, New Jersey. On throttles is Rick Lamore from Sarasota, Florida, and navigating is Joe Theismann from Atlantic City. And what a race it's been, and what a year it's been, actually, for this race team. They're second in nationally APBA points, and are first in the Northeast APBA points. And Joe Theismann, who's really been an asset and co-owner of this team. Joe Theismann from Super Bowl Washington Redskin fame, quarterbacked that Super Bowl team there, and he right now is doing announcing upon the professional level for the NFL Football League on television.
Professional APBA Offshore Racing. The World Cup Championship. The APBA, the American Powerboat Association, is on the air. From Cape Coral, Florida, it's the APBA World Cup Championship.
Well, there's a lot of celebrities here today, and Joe is with one of them.
Great day for racing. Water's going to be up. It's going to be your kind of day.
It really is. You know, if we get flat seas or flat water, obviously we don't really stand a chance against the cats because they can run flat out. We'll take them out into our water today. I think the seas will be a little high. The wind's picking up. It's when we used to play football and it got muddy, we used to call it Redskin weather. Well, this is Harrah's Zubaz weather.
Well, now listen, speaking of racing, speaking of next season, Mac, tell us about the great event you've got planned in Atlantic City for next June.
Well, I think we're really close to having a world-class event. The event will run 4 days. We'll have jet ski racing, offshore powerboat racing, radio-controlled boats, on. It'll be 4 days of excitement in front of the casinos in Atlantic City.
Harrah's Zubaz 777, and look at the helicopter ride right along, and Zubaz is almost pulling away from it.
Joe Theismann, Max Seelig on board, and the Harrah's Zubaz team. Checkered flag for you today. How does it feel?
It feels real nice, Jeff. Real nice.
lot of big water out there, Joe Theismann, a quarterback. You had the team cooking today. Great piece of racing.
To me, this was a classic case of just being able to point him in the right direction. And on the second lap, I didn't do that. I had us head for Fort Lauderdale. So we had to swing around and come back. Richie did a sensational job on the throttles. And the seas, you can't appreciate how terrific a job Mac did till you take a boat out there and try and run those seas at 85, 90 miles an hour. I mean, it was unbelievable the job these two guys did. Heck, I enjoyed the ride.
They've come from across America to do battle on the Gulf of Mexico. APBA Professional Offshore Racing is on the air from Corpus Christi, Texas. Drivers and crews are ready to take on the big waters off the Texas coast in the opening round. I'm with the crew of Mac Seelig and Harris Zubas 777. Mac, what a great day for racing. It's your kind of water.
Joe, we pray for this kind of water, and once in a while it happens, today's the day for us.
Well, of course, we all know and we're all excited about a coming up event, June 5th in Atlantic City. Talk to us about that.
Well, hopefully we'll have the biggest event in offshore racing this year. It'll be a 4-day event starting the 2nd, going through the 6th. The highlight will be the boat race, but between jet skis and volleyball and all the other goodies going on, 9 casinos participating and just spending a hell of a lot of money to make this one a tremendous event.
Well, the 1993 East-West Powerboat Shootout held in the neutral zone, or Corpus Christi, Texas, is now finally in the record books. These are the final results of the first national race of the 1993 racing season for the APB. In the offshore sea, Harris Zubas with 68.09 miles per hour, followed by Special Edition at 66.97, Ocean Outboard at 52.44.
From the beautiful shores of aristocratic Atlantic City, New Jersey, we bring you the sights, sounds, and stories of the men, women, and machines dancing on the edge at the $200,000 Atlantic City World Playground Grand Prix. Cruising the Jersey shoreline on this Saturday in June is a race within a race. 8 classes, 56 boats in all, will take the green flag. Among those to watch in offshore sea, the colorful Harris Zubas triple, racing as little as 73.5 miles and as many as 117.6 on a race course certain to challenge. While these Atlantic-sized waves made for some cool pictures, they also gave us some spectacular racing. 21 boats ran to the checkered flag on the lead lap. Among them, the hometown favorites, Mac, Jason, and Jeff Seelig in the Harris Zubas Wild One.
This event is the culmination of the fantastic 8-day Suncoast Grand Prix Festival here in Sarasota, Florida. Now, we've already had a golf tournament and a fishing tournament, and of course the World Kilo Speed Run. In that speed run, Flying Tigers set the record for the M class with a speed of 117 miles per hour, breaking the old speed in D class. On a barbecue at Mike Greenwell's, just about time to see the beginning of the Pepsi Onshore Challenge go-kart race. And there are team members of Tusani and Harris Zuba getting strapped in. And of course, there's a team member of the Dragon Lady go-kart race. And there's the boat parade here at this 1993 World Cup Championships for the APBA. Always a really terrific spectacle for the fans to see these boats up close. The boat parade for this 1993 Championships APBA in Cape Coral, Florida. There you see some of the boats. There's Power Play B1, a well-deserved national championship. And now coming up also is Harris Zuba, also an APBA national champion for 1993. C1, Harris Zuba. Now we're just a few moments away. The boats are lining up, and as we see the lineup, we see Harris Zuba, Ocean Outboard, Rock Solid, Sudden Impact, and Running Wild. Just a few moments away from the beginning of this race. Now the boats are getting closer together, more even. They're lining up for this race, and we're almost ready to go here now at this 1993 New Orleans Superboat Challenge. Once again, as we see the lineup, we see Harris Zuba, Ocean Outboard, Rock Solid, Sudden Impact, Special Edition, and Running Wild. in this start of offshore C and B. They'll be going 6 laps for 17 miles for a total of over 100 miles here at offshore C and offshore B. Just a few moments away from the race now as we see the boats getting somewhat closer together. Now we have the green flag, and the 1993 New Orleans Superboat Challenge has begun. And in the early moments, we've got Special Edition, Sudden Impact, Running Wild, and Joanna. Now as we look back there on the field, there's Ocean Outboard, Rock Solid, and Harazuba now on the inside coming into the picture. Once again, Harazuba, Rock Solid, and Ocean Outboard here in the early moments. Special Edition. There's Special Edition. It's taking the immediate lead here in this 1993 challenge with Running Wild, Ocean Outboard, and Harazuba. Ocean Outboard in the middle of our screen. On the outside, Running Wild, and Harazuba here on the inside with Special Edition right now in the immediate lead. Ocean Outboard is a 28-foot skater powered by two 2.5 EFIs. Owner is Mr. Scott Lehman from Boca Raton, Florida. Driver of record and throttle man J.B. Lehman, also from Boca Raton. The driver is Pat Mallow from Amity Harbor, New York. You're looking at Ocean Outboard, currently in first place on the national point standings in C class. Currently third in the national point standings, but leading in this race is Special Edition, C49, a 28-foot skater. Now as we look back on the outside, we've got Running Wild, Ocean Outboard, and Harazuba. We've got the first, second, and third place boats nationally competing here in the early moments of the race. There's Running Wild on the outside, which has won its last 2 races. We'll be crowning the national champions now for the APBA in the different classes. First off in Super, we've got In Excess in first place, followed by Kid Apache and Scarab Thunder. In Open, Recovery, followed by Spirit of New Mancha and Endangered Species. In the Modified, Agitator is in first place, followed by Flying Tiger and Airborne. In the Pro Outboard, Spirit of Houston, Slick 50, and Steel Lightning. In the Stock Outboard, Mobile One, Thin Ice, and Chiller. In Offshore A, Frank's Marine, Fountain, and Scott Free. In Offshore C, Harris, the national champion in C class, followed by Ocean Outboard and Special Edition. In Offshore B, Paraplay, followed by Rock Solid and CF Express.
Each year, competitors who have distinguished themselves in the offshore community are honored for their particular racing achievements in the sport, for they have risen to a level that personifies the excellence and degree of performance that has made APBA offshore racing the standard by which all others are judged. The 1993 season saw continued growth and substance in APBA offshore racing all across America. Tonight, we take great pride in paying tribute to those who have given so much in pursuit of that excellence. Winning it all for 1993 in the class is a man who came very close last year. He's Mac Seelig from the colorful Harazuba's race team. Finishing in the top 5 6 times on the year, Mac racked up an impressive 568 points during the season.
Mac and Kay Seelig in C77, what a great ride today.
Joe, it felt good. We were ready for it. We've been working all winter to get the boat right, and we think we're right this year.
From Absecon, New Jersey, let's have a big round of applause for Mr. Mac Seelig. Our next special award is the Throttleman of the Year Award, presented to that throttleman who best demonstrates the highly technical skills required in this endeavor. Often the key to victory, the throttleman holds in his powerful hands the difference between winning and losing. From the Harazuba's race team, the 1993 Throttleman of the Year is awarded to Mr. Jason Seelig. 7 years ago, a new force emerged on the scene of APBA offshore racing. Adorned in stripes from uniform to boat hull, this team was destined for greatness. The team carried with them that something special that makes a winner a winner.
Well, it's exciting, Joe. We've had a fairly decent year, but we're going to do some good racing today.
I noticed you had a very special guest in last night. Joe Theismann was in, had other commitments, unfortunately, but it was great seeing him again.
Joe's excited to be here. He's sorry he couldn't race today because he wanted to do it, but he has to go to work today.
Well, there's a great picture of the crew, a real team effort. These people come together 20 strong to these events, and they're all decked out in those Zubaz pants out of Minnesota, and they're also sponsored by Harrah's Casino out of Atlantic City.
Knowing that to be the best, you've got to beat the best. The Harazuba's offshore race team set out on a quest for the APBA Offshore National Championship. Mac and Kay Seelig, sons Jerry, Jeff, and Jason, and former NFL quarterback Joe Theismann knew what they had to do. They had to be better than the rest. They had to be the best of the best. With the help of crew chief Richie Sutphen and a pair of screaming Innovation Marine engines, their big Deep V race boat took on all comers. They won in rough water where the Deep Vs like to play. They won in flat water where the catamarans were known to be king. This team was professional, dedicated, and a favorite of local and national media alike. Because of their winning ways and their outstanding appearance, they received massive media coverage wherever they went on the national APBA offshore racing circuit. They became the most improved offshore racing team in the APBA because they earned it. Along with the checkered flags came exposure and notoriety for their sponsors. Harrah's Casino Hotels, the world's largest casino operator. The Zubaz clothing line. IGT, world's largest manufacturer of electronic slot machines. And Innovation Marine, who built the mighty engines.
Harrah's wins by over a minute over Special Edition, and here is Max Seelig with Joe.
Starting out this year like he ended 1992 with a victory. Mac and K. Seelig in C77. What a great ride today.
Joe, it felt good. We were ready for it. We've been working all winter to get the boat right, and we think we're right this year.
I couldn't believe how well your boat ran, but have you done something to the engines? They sound more powerful.
Well, Innovation, who is our engine builder, did a lot of small things to the boat. We've got dialed in. It took us 2.5 years to do it, but we're here now.
The 1993 APBA offshore season was to be their reward. The years of dedication and tireless effort were about to pay off, and pay off big. The Harrah's Zubaz race team was crowned APBA national champions for 1993. They had stayed the course and won the gold. They would carry the emblem of US 1 into the 1994 racing season. For theirs was a mission inspired from a belief that if you want it all, you've got to do it all. The Harrah's Zubaz offshore racing team. They're what winners are made of.
Team Gulf Wind Power Play, Team Intercoastal Spinoff, Scatterbrain, Fortune Glory, and Ballistic. Those are your competitors in this morning's race, the first race in this two-race event of the Jacksonville Offshore Grand Prix Festival. Hot Nasty and Harrah's Zubaz, both the Porson C class, vying for some position here in the early moments of this race. On the outside, still maintaining its lead over Harrah's Zubaz. Uh-oh, getting a little loose there, Harrah's Zubaz Racing Team. Let's see it again. Close call there for Harrah's Zubaz, C1, but in control. Harrah's Megabucks, 1994 national champion, 34-foot Sutphen. C1, Harrah's. And Harrah's Megabucks, and as we look at Harrah's now, we can tell you that very soon we will be airborne to bring you the beginning of this 1995 Fort Myers Beach Offshore Grand Prix from Fort Myers Beach, Florida. Back on course is Harrah's Megabucks, 34-foot Sutphen powered by two 700-horsepower Innovation motors with Mercruiser drives. And all Atlantic City crew, driver Max Seelig, man Jason Seelig, navigator Jeff Seelig. Harrah's Megabucks back on course now, back in the race. Sponsors include Harrah's Hotel and Casino Atlantic City, IGT Megabucks, USA's largest progressive jackpots throughout the casino industry. Also AC Coin Slot Service, East Coast's largest supplier of IGT slot machines and gaming supplies. Zubaz, and once again, this is a 34-foot Sutphen. 1993-94 national champions, and this year the team is going to try to do a three-peat and be the first team in C class to be a three-time national champion in C. The final results of this 1995 Fort Myers Beach Offshore Grand Prix. First off, in stock, Apparently, 7-Up the Uncola came from behind. Locomotion had a problem, and 7-Up the Uncola took the checkered flag with Locomotion in second place. Striking distance coming up third. In offshore C, well, it was Harrah's Megabucks dominating the whole race. Mobile won. The APBA officials, Don Jones, Mike Tomlinson, Jim Cork, John Kenyon, Dee Kimes for scoring, and Jim Poplin, our medical and safety director. The communications for the race is being brought to you by Tri-County Communications. Hey, spectators along the beach there getting ready for this afternoon's race. We're going to give you the final results of this morning's race on this 1995 Offshore Grand Prix of Miami. First off in stock, it was 7-Up the Uncola machine all the way. First in class, first overall. In second place, Cutting Edge, followed by Locomotion. Offshore C, Harrah's Megabucks taking the checkered flag, Mobile 1.
Hello, everyone. This is MVP Sports, and we're in Palm Beach, where for the first time ever, offshore powerboat racing and national championship offshore powerboat racing have come to this magnificent city. And here they come for the start of the 1995 Palm Beach Grand Prix. The pace boat has them lined up beautifully. You see Harrah's kind of nipping a little bit ahead. They want to bring them side by side, get them all straight across, then drop the flag and let them go. One of the most difficult times that the crews have to wait patiently. Closer, closer. Drop the flag and away we go. And there's your start. C1 Harrah's right to the lead. On the outside, I see Mobile.
C-Class, Harrah's Megabucks, C1, coming in number 1, followed by Zero Gravity, C9. Harrah's Megabucks, your winner in C-Class. In Offshore D, it was Phantom Offshore D911 taking the checkered flag in first place, followed by Harrah's Megabucks, D7, and coming in third, Velocity, D38. Phantom Offshore in first place in Offshore D. And we believe that Phantom Offshore has never gotten a checkered flag until today in all its years of racing. Congratulations, Bill Hill and the rest of the crew. In Offshore C-Class, well, Harrah's Megabucks, followed by Zero Gravity and Secret Agent in third place. Great battle in C. Harrah's Megabucks, number 1.
A world champion powerboat racing team doesn't just happen. You don't just purchase a boat, launch it, and win a record 3 straight national championships. Behind the Harrah's IGT Megabucks powerboat is a professional, experienced, and finely tuned organization that generates enormous exposure for its sponsors. There's co-owner Joe Theismann, former quarterback for the Washington Redskins, now a motivational speaker. He joined the team 4 years ago. Joe wears a Super Bowl ring, and he understands teamwork as well as media exposure. There's Innovation Marine, the engine designer, which works with the U.S. Navy SEALs. There's Sutphen Marine, designer and builder of the world's most successful race boats. The boat's crew includes Max Seelig, 1993 and 1995 Driver of the Year, and his sons, including Jason Seelig, who was 1994 and 1995 Throttleman of the Year. Jerry and Jeff Seelig, who are identical twins, share the responsibilities of navigation. This professional family wears its trademark Zubaz striped clothing wherever it goes, making it the most identifiable team in the sport. Of course, it was named Best Dressed. The honors piled up in 1993, 1994, and 1995 when the Harrah's IGT Megabucks Ensemble won 3 straight national championships, unprecedented in any class of the American Powerboat Racing Association. In 1995, they won 10 of the last 11 races without a loss. They easily won the World Championship of Powerboat Racing in Key West, Florida. In recent years, the team has become a magnet for media coverage. When they failed to finish a race, they were still the featured team in the media. Even when they don't win, they gain exposure for the sponsors.
In the C-Class, who's out in front? Who do you think? Harrah's Megabucks. Max Seelig and his family blasting along here in the place they know best, first place in C-Class. They're the national champion and with good reason. This boat is just dominant, race after race after race. Well-sponsored, well-represented, and a very attractive team. Serious boat races, the Seeligs have taken the lead once again down here at Key West in race number 1.
None of this would matter without a planned, targeted media program before and after each race, planned with the sponsors as the featured element. It's no wonder that the Harris IGT Megabucks powerhouse gains as much or more exposure as any other powerboat of any class. Mainstream newspapers feature the team in section front color packages. At home, they gain headlines from New Jersey's largest newspaper, the Star-Ledger. New Jersey's Governor, Christy Whitman, wants to be an honorary crew member, which has attracted the attention of the Philadelphia Inquirer, the Courier-Post of Camden, and Atlantic City magazine. The team's association with celebrities have resulted in time on major networks. They're in demand for parties and corporate celebrations. Powerboat magazine, the Bible of powerboat racing, features the team regularly. Even prior to the National Championship Week, boating magazines regularly praised the championship season, some with full-page coverage. The team made a splash on the front covers of On Deck magazine and Vapor Trails magazine. Media exposure for the race team included 300 million homes worldwide through Prime and ESPN cable channels, which recently broadcast the National Championship race in numerous markets. The media exposure filled videotapes, audio tapes, and scrapbook after scrapbook. Offshore racing enables sponsors the ability of mass recognition. Tens of thousands of spectators line the beaches and shorelines for these events. National television has had a love affair with powerboat racing for years. The World Championships, held in Key West, Florida, and won by the 777 race team, was broadcast live via satellite to Argentina, where audiences toppled 40 million people. Those races will also be broadcast on ESPN. Harris IGT Megabucks is the most professional team.
Looking downfield, we can tell you that everyone really got up to a great start here in this Rock the Bay Chesapeake Challenge here in Kent Narrows, Maryland. There we see a little bit of Harris and some of the spectator boats looking downfield. C1 Harris Megabucks, 34-foot Sutphen. It is your 93, 94, 95 national champion in C-Class and your 1995 world champion in C-Class. C1 Harris took a first place in Galveston, a first place in Sarasota, currently in first place in the APBA national standings. Once again, a 34-foot Sutphen powered by two 750 horsepower Innovation inboards with Mercruiser drive. The drivers Max Seelig, draftman Jason Seelig, navigator Jerry Seelig. They're all from Atlantic City, New Jersey. C1 Harris. Harris, C1 taking the checkered flag, followed by Zero Gravity. And in third place, Intimidator. Harris Megabucks in first place, C1 in Offshore City.
It's the halfway point of the season, and the C-Class is proving a crowd pleaser. Harris Megabucks has been mega successful. Zero Gravity has been consistent and is on the chase. The APBA Offshore National High Point Series. The fourth stop of the series, the Chesapeake Bay Challenge.
Look at they're going to travel from the start-finish line southwest. They're going to pass the spectator fleet to turn number 1 and a left turn heading back to the northeast. The racers will then travel to turn number 2 and back to the start-finish to complete a pretty short course of 8 miles. It has been designed to be spectator-friendly.
Muscle is the points leader. What a rivalry here. Harris Megabucks and Zero Gravity in the S Division. Team Stocker cutting edge. And we're almost underway now as this is the start. The flag is dropped. The ABC in stock is underway. Harris Megabucks, but look at Zero Gravity. Zero Gravity is getting a great start. And here is Buckshot moving on the inside.
Two of the world's fastest C boats mixing it up with two of the world's fastest B boats. Buckshot and Baby going nose to tail, and Zero Gravity takes the early lead.
Boy, is this a surprise. Zero Gravity, who's been a bridesmaid to Megabucks all season long, has decided, hey, I'm going to go out there and ride on the edge.
It's catamaran water here at the start arc, but the question is, will they be able to hold off the challenge of the Harris Megabucks?
Trying to catch up, the Seelings are getting some airtime.
In the C class, the V-bottom is able to run twin 750 horsepower engines, so they've got the
Meanwhile, on the water, Harris Megabucks has caught up with Zero Gravity. Intimidator in third. Harris Megabucks coming off the win at Sarasota, which they found easier than they thought they would. Opponents admitting they made a mistake over overpropping, but they had their share of bad luck mechanically at Fort Myers. Here they had to play catch-up against Zero Gravity, and they're now in the lead. The end of the day now as far as our offshore racing from Chesapeake Bay. Still, two more classes to come to the checkered flag, the C and B classes. Harris Megabucks. Boy, have they worked for this victory.
Art, no surprises here. Harris Megabucks tucked in behind cutting edge early. Played the waiting game, just kept the heat on enough. Knew that they had the cubic inches and the horsepower to make their move whenever they wanted to. On the 7th lap, they made that move, went into the lead. Yet another win for this Sutphen V-bottom. The results in the C class are starting to sound like a broken record. Harris Megabucks yet again out front. Zero Gravity in second and Intimidator in third. Art is with the Sealigs.
Well, Jason, did you get the order from the father to put the throttles down? Because it looks like you were saving it a little bit, and then a great battle with Zero Gravity.
Yeah, we tried to run about 6 laps, stay behind him and just pace him and pick which spots of the water were better for us where we knew that he couldn't run real well. And then coming into the 7th lap, we caught him down on the far corner and put the hammers down and never looked back.
Hard to hold back?
It's hard to hold back.
How was the ride, Jerry?
Oh, it was a great ride. I love this place. It's great to come here and win. Hope to be back next year.
One, the Crab House Restaurant, Eileen's Travel, Mariner Marine, Boat Us, Cavs Transportation, Solid Waste Management, Bell South, and many, many more. The wet pitch location is the Rybovich Spencer Boat Residence in Alligator, getting ready to take a dip. Very shortly, we will bring you the 2nd annual Palm Beach County Offshore Grand Prix. We will be airborne. And there we are now as we see many of the boats leaving the inlet, getting ready to take a parade lap here in this 5th national race for the APBA here in Palm Beach County, Florida. Calm water conditions for this first race of this 2-race event here in Palm Beach County, Florida. Everyone will be going a total of 9 laps, 6 miles per lap. The A, the B, the C, and the S. As we line up there is C1 Harris, Team Bermuda, and DeLand Honda. That's the most rate. In offshore C Harris, C1, Zero Gravity. In 2nd place, C9, and in 3rd, Secret Agent, C6. Harris Megabucks, checkered flag. They've got 17 of them, and they're 19 starts. Great record for Harris Megabucks. Speed Vision presents the APBA Offshore National High Point Series. The Volvo Penta Powerboat Magazine Ventura Offshore Grand Prix is the 6th stop on the APBA Tour. Hello, everybody. Art Ekman, along with Mark Spencer, the former editor of Powerboat Magazine. The final round of the APBA season and one of our big feature stories, Harris Megabucks. After not winning a single race for 5 years, they're on the edge of putting 4 consecutive national championships together.
Art, that's a feat that's never been accomplished in offshore racing before. 4 consecutive national championships. Team Seelig has won in the rough water. They've run in the smooth water. They've done it all, and they'd like to finish off their season here in Ventura with another big win. Just a dominating performance by that big Sutphen.
Several of our telecast crew is Connie Willis. She's got her eye on the weather.
Art, it is a beautiful day for racing. The only difference about today's race is we're on the Pacific. Normally we've been on the East Coast, and 3 to 4 foot waves on the East Coast are much different than the 3 to 4 foot big swells that these boats are going to experience today. And when you see the course description, you're going to see that these boats are going to be hitting these waves at every angle, so it's going to be an exciting race, a fast one as well, because the Pacific is cold water, so that means these boats are going to go a whole lot faster. Fun to watch, exciting. Good luck to the racers.
As the fans begin to line the beaches here in Ventura, California for this season finale, let's go down to the pits and Art Ekman, who's with Max Seelig about the Harris Megabucks team.
Well, we're very fortunate. Our team members consist of my 3 sons, Jason, who is our navigator, and Jeff and Jerry, the twins, who are the alternate throttle man with Joe Theismann. Joe, as you know, is a very motivational guy who goes all over the country speaking about motivating people. He also helps motivate his own team. So I think between the kids, myself, who are a little bit on the edge of trying to do things really right, and Joe, who lives by that credo, let's do it right. So we're here doing it right, and we've been very successful doing it that way.
Max Seelig, using a similar formula in racing he's used successfully in the business world. Let's check out the course with Connie.
Thank you, Art. This is the first time the National Circuit has been in the Pacific Ocean this season. And this Powerboat Magazine Ventura Offshore Grand Prix race course is a 7-turn, 8.87-mile course. And from the start-finish, the fleet will travel approximately half mile to a left turn at buoy number 1. The boats will head west 1 mile to turn number 2 and a left turn south toward turn number 3 about a half mile away. Then another left turn heading east. The racers will go 1 mile to a right-hand turn at buoy number 4, then head south. They will race almost 2 miles toward turn number 5 and 2 more quick left turns at buoys number 5 and number 6. The boats then travel 1 3/4 miles to turn number 7, a dog leg to the left, and a short half-mile run to the start-finish line. Art, Mark, should be a fast 8.87-mile course with a lot of action as well.
A real close pursuit right there by some of the stock boats, even some of the sea boats.
Harrah's Megabucks, the only time they did not win on the season was a second place at Fort Myers. They lasted 2 laps. But fortunately, attrition wiped out most of the field. Otherwise, win in Galveston, win in Sarasota, win in the Chesapeake, and a victory in Palm Beach.
This is the first time, though, that the Megabucks team has had to face the first scarab. Joe Black, Nigel Hook, and Sally Black. A big 37-foot scarab.
From a very quiet marina here in Ventura, California, let's rejoin the action out on the waters. We see Harrah's Megabucks leading our C class.
With first scarab on the trailer, some mechanical problems. Harrah's Megabucks remains the only V-bottom in the C class. They're finally swells the Pacific to their liking. Team Seelig has that Sutphen really aired out. A picture-perfect performance. They'd like nothing better than to win their 4th consecutive national championship on the heels of a win here in Ventura.
And that's not been done before. They've won.
Real news for the Harrah's Megabucks team is that even though they'll finish at the end of a string, they've cinched that 4th consecutive national championship, a feat that's never been duplicated in the history of offshore powerboat racing.
Tradition, competition, and camaraderie. These are the building blocks from which history is born. The Hall of Champions, built on a firm foundation, supported by a memorable past, a powerful present, and a fantastic future. The APBA Hall of Champions. Let's look back. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Powerboat Association proudly presents the 1996 Hall of Champions. Established in 1974 by the APBA to honor its most outstanding drivers from each season, the APBA Hall of Champions is regarded as the association's most prestigious racing honor. Each category chairman and commission set criteria 1 year in advance for the selection of inductees from their respective ranks. Achievements on the race course translate into a point scale, which form the basis for individual selection. 1 or more inductees are chosen from each category according to the number of active registered drivers in that particular racing division. Our first category this year is offshore racing. Considered by many to be the ultimate challenge in powerboat racing, offshore contestants are faced with the dynamics of an ever-changing sea as they take on the unpredictable elements of wind and wave. These high-performance racing craft and their professional crews push the envelope to the limit and beyond in their never-ending search for racing superiority and the checkered flag. Since 1986, our next inductee has been out there trading punches on the APBA offshore racing circuit. This team has won so many titles and checkered flags that their racing record has become a blur of awards and trophies. The Harrah's Megabucks offshore team ended a decade of competition in 1996 by taking the checkered flag 5 times during the season. Along the way, they were also crowned National C-Class Offshore Champions. Distinctive and familiar by their colorful uniforms and their family approach to the sport. Let's have a big Hall of Champions welcome for 4-time C-Class Offshore Champion from Absecon, New Jersey, Mr. Max Seelig and Mr. Jason Seelig.